Hello, my retro friends. Thank you for finding my channel, Mike the Retro Realtor. Today, we are going to do an in-depth review of my 1994 Lincoln Mark VIII. This Mark VIII is a very rare Coach Builders limited edition, meaning it's a convertible. This is a true convertible with an additional 2 windows that go down and a fully powered soft top. This is your standard 1994 Lincoln Mark VIII. It has a 280 horsepower, 4.6 liter, 32 valve V8 in front, which actually was the same engine that they used in the Mustang Cobras, matted to a 4-speed automatic delivering power to the rear wheels. One of the first things Coach Builders did after cutting off the roof was to add some stability by adding a crossbar, and you can see this running the whole length of the wheelbase underneath the car. Another one of the things that Coach Builders did, because the Lincoln came with wraparound doors where the window was wrapped by metal, they had to chop off with basically a sawzall, and you have this so you have the somewhat dangerous remnants of the frame. They gotta be a little careful when you hop in the car. So to put the top down, you put your foot on the brake. Obviously the car has to be in gear, and you push this little button that operates the power top up and down. That was another thing that Coach Builders put in here. Another thing that Coach Builders did is to operate the back windows, they installed 2 levers right here next to the switch off for the traction control. This car did come with every option, including the cell phone. The phone is long gone, but you can see here in the A-pillar a very rudimentary hands-free button. You make your call, set the phone down, and hit the button here in the A-frame that will turn on the microphone and not hold the phone. So that's the big difference between the coupe and the convertible. Now we're going to go over what a typical 1994 Lincoln Mark VIII has as if this was a normal car. So along the door, you'll see power windows, power locks, memory seats, which is a nice touch. As we get behind the wheel, you'll find controls for your cruise control, analog dashboard. The gauges are very easy to read. Next to that, we have a very cool feature from the 90s. We have a little information center here that's all digital. Then we have an aftermarket radio and your digital climate control. And going beneath that, we'll have your traction control shutoff, which makes this car actually quite the nice donut machine. Going down to the passenger side, you'll see more vents and a second airbag. So in mid-90s, for luxury cars, they were actually adding 2 airbags versus 1 for just the driver. Everything is tilted toward the driver. So there's a slight bias with the radio, the information center, and the climate control all toward the driver. This was a driver's car. When the top is down, I think Coach Builders did a nice job making it look like a more natural convertible. Sometimes it gets a little weird when you do that, but this one I think flows really nicely. They did a nice job on the Eldorado as well. Bill and I shot this footage in early October, and I probably put about 1,000 miles a year on this car. It's going to be going into storage soon, so in the spring my goal is to get it all buffed out, make the paint look a lot nicer, bring it back to life a little bit, and do a nice detailing job. My experience with Lincoln Mark VIIIs goes back to the mid-90s. In 1996, I bought a 2-year-old Mark, and a bigger guy at 6'5". I didn't want to daily drive a Camaro or Mustang or anything like that, but I enjoyed going really fast. The Mark VIII provided the speed I really liked, but it's also a very luxurious car for the time. It's a very nice car, but it was fast, and 0-60 on these cars is right around 7 seconds flat. With the additional weight of being a convertible, probably lost a couple tenths of a second, but that's okay. We're not really drag racing anyone anyways. One of my things is I love being the only kid on my block with a certain car. Only 23 of these cars were made in the convertibles. There's not a big market for these cars, so they're not terribly expensive if you can find one. I think it's a lot of car for the money, especially considering that my car only has 24,000 miles on it. So what would happen if you wanted one of these, and I'm going to talk about the Cadillac more because I know the story in that one. So if you wanted the Cadillac turned into a convertible, you'd go into your Cadillac dealership, you'd order your Eldorado, and they would say, okay, no problem, it's $15,000 for the conversion back in 1995, 94, and they would ship the car down to Florida to Coach Builders Limited. They would convert it. They bring it to the end buyer wherever in the country that person is. Only 23 convertibles were ever made. These people, I think, just saw the convertible Eldorados floating around and they decided that they want one. So assuming that the numbers are the same, you would go into your Lincoln dealership, say, hey, I would like one of these convertibles, an additional $15,000 on top of the price of the car, which back then ranged from $37,000 to about $42,000. It's pretty easy to tell that the conversions were both done by the same company. You can see the same components for the convertible. Convertibles both operate very similar in terms of putting the top up and down. Another thing that was carried over from the Eldorado to the Mark 8s was the rear tail light. They both have the same tail light. I was told they're off a C4 Corvette. I'm yet to see a C4 Corvette convertible old enough that would have the backlight not integrated into the rest of the rear end. Driving the car is actually a very nice experience. It is a luxury car, and it is a Lincoln, so it's got a lot of creature comforts. It's got plenty of power to move this 4,000-pound convertible. I wouldn't go so far to call it fast anymore. It will get on the freeway, no problem. It's just nice. And being a convertible, you're definitely the only kid on your block with one. I do put this car in shows. I also put it in parades as well. The original owner of this car was Jerry Lee Lewis, Southern rocker. He just passed away about 2 years ago. If you happen to see this video and happen to see me bouncing around in Brookfield, Milwaukee, please say hi. Tell me you saw the video. I'd appreciate this. Thank you so much for viewing. Hope you enjoyed the video and keep it retro, my friends.